best dress on and your best foot forward. 28 designers will be showcasing their collections at South African Fashion Week. This year's event will see some of the country's finest brands exhibit their trans-seasonal collections digitally. Let's now take a look at my conversation with Lucilla Boyson. It was exactly 23 years ago when Lucilla Boyson, who was a teacher at the time, decided to quit her day job and focus on the business of South Africa's fashion industry.
The first time I sort of stumbled across a fashion week was when I went on a fashion tour. And that was in 1986. And then I realized that if we don't build a designer-led industry in South Africa, we will never really have an industry that leads. We will always follow the rest of the world. And then I started doing shows. Of course, I was doing shows, fashion producing shows those years. And then a miracle literally happened. In 1997, in February, I woke up one morning and I said, I'm going to start a fashion week. And I got into my car and went to a friend of mine that was a public relations person. And I said, I'm going to start a fashion week. And she said to me, Lucilla, you mad? What are you know, people don't even know what a fashion week is. Yeah. And I said, I'm going to do it. And in August, we did the very first South African Fashion Week.
Fast forward, South African designers are making tremendous strides, carving out a name for themselves on the global stage. Local designer Thebe Magugu made history when he became the first African to win the LVMH prize in 2019. Now this year, Lukhanyo Mdingi is in the running for the prestigious prize.
And I believe that Fashion Week played a role in their success, because what we do is we spotlight the designers and we give them international coverage. We make people look at them, and of course they are brilliant in their own right, but the South African Fashion Week, literally our reach is absolutely vast, and especially now with COVID or going through COVID, the international markets are looking at us.
South Africa's clothing and textile sector contributed at least 1 billion rand to the GDP during 2019. These are the findings of a study conducted by the Department of Trade and Industry and Competition and the South African Cotton Cluster.
To be a fashion designer is one thing. To run a successful business as a fashion designer is something completely different, because you've got to take your ego, put it in your pocket, and you've got to decide what you want to do. You've got to decide that you want to make a business, you want to create wealth with your talent. And then you've got to learn the business side of this side that you know so very well. That is the design side. And if you cannot crack the business side, you will never be successful as a designer. And there is huge money to be made in South Africa in design. And if you just look at the people around you, we don't all have mobile phones. We don't all have cars, we don't all have radios or televisions, but we all wear clothes. So it's a no-brainer that if the country invests in building the creative fashion design industries, which are the small SMMEs, that is where the power in the future of this industry sits, this incredible industry that can uplift millions of people.
In a world of virtual runways, it will be business as usual at SA Fashion Week.
One of the highlights this season is a new talent, and that of course is in its 22nd year, and it brings the new designers on the block into the spotlight. We have 6 designers, and it's a completely sustainable competition, which means the designers had to find sustainable fabrics, they had to do their own prints, and so that to me is a step forward.
Tickets are available for the event, which runs from the 29th of April to the 2nd of May. Audiences can watch from the comfort of their homes or view the screening at the Mall of Afrika. For Newzroom Africa 405, I'm Mpho Sithole in Johannesburg.